National Board certification is a rigorous process that's been around for a couple of decades, and it's to help teachers be able to go through a process where they get really top-level scrutiny to become nationally certified. This work involves submitting portfolios, submitting videotapes of them teaching in their classroom, conducting analyses of students' work in their class, and talking about the interventions that they would provide in order to help students learn. This is basically judged by a community of professionals who get together to determine whether or not these teachers have met the criteria, and then teachers in addition to that have to successfully pass a number of tests in order to get this certification. Each year, these are all of the students who are graduates of our programs who are eligible. It just kind of depends how many want to do this out in the career. No current students are eligible for this. Someone has to teach for at least 2 years before they're eligible to do this. And typically teachers teach for longer than that because this is such a rigorous process. They may need that expertise that they're developing in order to be successful. So it's hard to estimate how many of our graduates might do this each year, but we are in the top 50 of the United States of people who have successfully completed the National Board certification process. You could go back to grad school and do this. Some teachers have chosen to do the National Board certification process rather than go back to grad school. In Oklahoma, historically, it's been more financially rewarding to get the National Board certification. The state, for many years, provided a $5,000 pay raise to those teachers. That has since changed to where not all teachers get that amount, and it's not necessarily guaranteed. However, usually that is more financially rewarding than graduating with a graduate degree, which does not pay as much. Of course, we really choose to encourage people to do the graduate degree as well because of the learning and what the skill sets that they can develop in the program to help them work with P through 12 learners. It's important because, first of all, it increases our abilities and our skill sets as teachers to really make a difference and impact student learning in the classroom. In addition to helping us reflect on what our current level of skills are, it expands the content knowledge that we go out and research and we can use in our classroom. It gives us new strategies as these teachers work with colleagues across the state and sometimes across the country. They can learn from and steal some of their strategies to use in their own classrooms. It's also important because it's validation. Here we have, again, at a national level, these true experts who come together and determine that you're one of their crowd. You've actually met the requirements to be recognized in this really elite group. It's fantastic. It's a sign of the quality of preparation that takes place here at UCO. We have incredible programs. We have close to 30 approved programs that are nationally or state approved. They're approved at the highest level that they're eligible to. And we've had a history of really strong teacher preparation. And so now that we have our graduates and we're in the top 50 of the nation of colleges who produce these graduates getting the national certification, it's just another sign of the quality of preparation they get here. It's also a sign of the strong support that their current teaching positions out in the schools, the support that those school districts provide, as well as the Oklahoma Office of Educational Quality and Accountability, who that agency provides great support to those who are training for National Board certification. I think nationally there's variety in how schools are moving. Oklahoma is set up in a great position because of the quality of our teachers. We have really dedicated, well-prepared teachers for the most part. What has hurt education is the teacher shortage and the fact that we need more teachers in the schools than those who are choosing to complete a preparation program. Um, the fact that here recently, in the past few years, we've had a dramatic increase of those who are entering the profession who do not come from a credentialed program and may not have the necessary skill sets and may not have the necessary support as they enter as a new teacher. So they may not be able to provide students with the best learning experience. Hopefully, we're all working together to support those individuals so that school children of all ages can get the best teacher possible. But that, and then also budgets, certainly are making it really difficult for schools to provide the resources and support that they need. So education, teacher quality, what teachers are doing at schools is in good shape. The other challenges out there are really setting us behind, such as, again, the budget cuts and the lack of support for really recruiting and being able to maintain highly trained teachers. The teacher shortage has began years ago, prior to us seeing the immediate effects of these budget cuts. I think when we've looked at some of the reports that talk about potential causes of the teacher shortage, much of it has had to do with low teacher pay in the state. We're always one of the bottom 2 or 3 in the country as far as the teacher pay. It also has to do with a number of initiatives that have moved really quickly, not just in Oklahoma but other states. But Oklahoma has really accelerated expectations and demands on teachers that do not necessarily coincide with what we know to be best practice in teaching and what works best for students. And so there's been a disconnect between what teachers know they should do and what they're oftentimes highly encouraged to do in order to make those test scores that have become really important to many folks. And that hasn't necessarily been a good thing for our schools. So, I think that has been more of a contributor to the teacher shortage. The fact that we still have low teacher pay, and the fact that teachers have really felt demoralized in the process of implementing many of these new educational initiatives, that there are other options. And so young professionals oftentimes are choosing some of those other options. This is a great time for teachers to have many opportunities. We have here at UCO, but I would say most of our institutions across the state have really strong relationships with all school districts and the communities. So we're all really working together to face some of these challenges. So it's an exciting time to become a teacher. There are real challenges, but our programs are again working in collaboration with schools and the community to see what we can make happen so that we provide the best possible education in Oklahoma for the preschool through 12th grade students.